What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to bomb some of the popular coverages for one-play touchdowns in Madden 20, most specifically Cover 3 defense, which is the most popular zone coverage and the most popular coverage defense you will probably see from most players online this year. Cover 2 isn't really that good, and quite frankly there's so many easy ways to beat Cover 2 that it's really not even much of a problem this year. But in terms of zone defense, most people are sticking in Cover 3 unless they're playing a man defense. But if they're playing Cover 3, it's very important to have those plays in your back pocket that you could take the top off of the defense and go in for one-play scores. That way you force them to adjust, switch up the defense, and maybe run something that they're not as comfortable in. So when you're looking to get one-play touchdowns against Cover 3, you want to look for compressed sets are the easiest to do this out of. So gun bunch, for example, is a formation that this works really well with. So you want to make sure your outside receiver is going to be a pretty fast guy, someone in the mid to high 90s. So I'm going to put Paris Campbell right here on the outside. And what you want to look for is a play where the inside receiver is on a corner route. So a good example is the play bunch trail. Now, notice that he's on kind of a short corner route and not a corner route that goes really deep. You don't want a corner route that goes too deep. It needs to be a corner route that's about this length, because what's going to happen here is, sometimes people might think this is glitchy or it's cheesy, but what's really happening here is you're going to send more deep routes than the deep zones can cover. It's actually pretty realistic because you're putting defenders kind of in a situation where they have to choose. They have to kind of split the difference between two receivers, and that allows the one receiver to just get over the top for a touchdown. So one of the easiest ways to bomb Cover 3, in my opinion, is out of the gun bunch with a play like this. You want to make sure that your bunch receiver side is on the wide side of the field. So you see we're on the left hash mark, so we have our bunch side to the wide side of the field on the right. If the ball was on the right hash mark, we would flip the play and have the bunch to the left. Now, how you would set this up is you want to send your B receiver on a streak. You also want to send your tight end on a streak, and what I do is I motion him over. Now, your X receiver is kind of just like a wild card. Really, you just want to have him over the short middle on a check down. So you could put him on a drag, you could put him on an in route, which I really like, because you need a check down just in case the pass rush comes free, or maybe the user realizes what you're doing and they run deep to manually cover that route. You need something to check it down to. But if they just let this play develop, all you have to do is lead this ball to the outside, and it is a one-play touchdown. You rack catch it by pressing the X button on Xbox or the square button on PlayStation. Now, again, sometimes people will say, oh, this is cheesy, this is like cheating. That it's really not. It's actually very realistic how this happens. Now, yes, the AI and the zone coverage isn't always the most ideal in Madden, so yes, they probably could play this a little bit better, but here's the thing. This guy right here, he's got to drop into a deep third. His responsibility is defending the numbers to the sideline, so he's not really going past the numbers. So he's not even really he's not in the play. He's kind of useless because the bulk of the action is on the right side, and he's just kind of defending the numbers here, and that's really what he's supposed to do. The deep safety here is supposed to kind of defend between the numbers and the inside. So the problem here is we're putting him in a predicament by we're sending a streak literally right at him, but then there's this other streak on the other side, and he kind of has to split the difference. He can't really overcommit to one or the other, and actually he's continuing to actually drift with the streak on the right side. But because we have this guy here and he is running straight at him, he really has to kind of respect both. Now, in a perfect world, yes, this cornerback should probably realize, well, there's nothing else really coming in his area, so maybe he should play inside a little bit more. But the problem with that is he still has to respect his boundary. He's still responsible for the sideline to the numbers. So who's to say that this guy right here doesn't now make a cut to the sideline and run a corner route? That cornerback doesn't know that. So he can't just over pursue all the way to the inside, because he has to respect the fact that this tight end could break off his route to the sideline. So he's got to play the difference between this safety's got to play the difference between, these two guys right here. And then you have this cornerback on the outside. Now you're saying, well, he should run with this guy, and he is running with him, but then what he sees is the corner route breaking underneath, and the problem with this is this corner route is going to get over the top of this zone because it's supposed to. So now he's seeing this corner route, and he's like, okay, well, I have to pick one or the other, and with the logic in this game, he's just always going to pick the corner route, and he's not necessarily wrong for doing that. He just has to pick one or the other, but by him just coming down just a little bit to respect this, now we have a fast receiver. He's over the top of his head, for a touchdown. Now people are probably going to say, well, this underneath guy should take the corner. He's in a purple zone, but really a lot of people think he's supposed to defend that, but he's really not, because he's in a curl flat, which means he's supposed to play the area of the field where a curl could drop, and then he's got to respect the underneath. And we do have a route that actually is coming underneath, so he has to kind of peek at this and respect it, and he's not really supposed to carry this corner route all the way to the sideline, because this is about where he has to stop because he's in a curl flat. That's where this zone stops. So now this cornerback has to overcompensate, pick this up, and boom, now we have a touchdown over the top. Now I'm going to show you another way to do this in a minute as well, but I just want to show you it one more time just so you can see that it is consistent. And then I'm going to show you like another way you could do it out of other formations. So again, once he just, like here, he kind of got held up a little bit, so we had to wait a little bit longer, but you just pass lead it outside, bullet pass lead it. So you want to hold his icon down and then hold the left joystick all the way to the right when you're passing it to him, and he's going to get over the top every time. Now, the really good thing about this is even if they go to a cover 2, you can beat this down the seam against a cover 2 with the same setup, which is really nice, because in terms of zone defense, cover 2 and cover 3 are typically the most popular. You will see some cover 4 and things like that mixed in, but if they run cover 2, you can pass lead this down the middle, and he will usually split both safeties. Right there, the safety actually made a pretty good play, got a hand in there, but usually this actually turns into a one-play touchdown against cover 2. So I want to show you that you can get a one-play touchdown on this. It's just, this one's a little bit harder to time. It's a little bit tighter of a window, but just in case if they were to pull out a cover 2 on you, you're not necessarily dead. You see, you can still split it for a touchdown. And we have Earl Thomas on that left side, who is the best safety in the game, and he can't even stop it. So you're saying, well, then why do you stop something like this? Well, it's really not that hard, because if you know you might get hit with this one time, but once you see somebody doing that motion and you know, like, okay, he wants to go for the one-play touchdown again, right? Then you just have to throw stuff at them that will not allow them to do that. Because yes, if you want to go manually defend that route, well, then I could check it down to T.Y. Hilton underneath, so that's not going to work. But it's all about adjusting, because people will say, well, running the same play on offense is like not realistic, it's cheesy, you're just going to try to bomb my cover 3 every play. But if you're running a cover 3 every time on defense, I mean, is that any more realistic for you to say, well, I just want to run a cover 3 every time on defense? And it's not okay for me to beat your coverage, but it's okay for you to run the same coverage every down. If I know you're running a cover 3, I'm going to come out in a play that I know is going to beat cover 3. So this is when you have to start mixing it up. So for example, very simple way to beat this is just to run a cover 4, and then you just want to user the underneath check down, because if you do this, then we have all of the deep routes accounted for. So for example, what I would do here is I'm just going to sit underneath. I'm going to sit on T.Y. Hilton. Where can I really go with the ball? I mean, if the pass rush doesn't get there, the corner route will still get open behind it, but typically you'll rush more than 3 guys. Rush 4 guys, the pass rush will get there, but the thing is, you can't bomb that. But again, if I know you want to bomb it, you know what I would do? Well, I could just come out in this cover 4 shell. I can literally blitz all my linebackers, the popular, meta in the game right now. Just blitz everybody. I'm not going to give you time to throw it, and then again, I'm just going to user the little underneath right here. So what I would do is I'd get on the safety, and I would kind of stay with the tight end for a minute, and then I would jump down. So all right, with the tight end, I'm jumping down, you're sacked. I'm not going to give you time to throw it. So if someone does want to beat you with stuff like this, that's what you got to do. Come out in a cover 4, come out in a heavy blitz, because they have to send those 4 routes out. Come down on them and don't let them have time to get it off, and then they'll quickly get out of it. Now I want to show you one other way. Like if you don't have a gun bunch in your playbook, you probably have some type of a gun tight. So like here we have tight doubles, or you might have like a gun tight slots, halfback weak. Anything that's compressed is going to make this really easy. So again, you want to find a play where you have the inside receiver on a corner route. So here we have the play flood drive. I'm going to flip it because I want this to go to the right side of the field. Again, we want the corner route to be on the wide side of the field. Now I'm going to go ahead and streak Paris Campbell. He's already on kind of like a fade streak, but I want him just on a regular one. And then again, we could just go ahead, streak the tight end, so that occupies the other safety. I'm gonna just block the running back for extra protection, and then we're good to go. We have Devin Funches now coming underneath on a drag, which is our check down, or we could put him on an in route, whatever you see fit. If you want to put him on a hitch route, whatever you like the best. I typically would go drag or in route though, and you're gonna get the same concept here. It's gonna work the same way. That cornerback has to respect the corner route, and that's just what he does. Now, yes, in a perfect world, I would say the only thing about this that you could consider like it's glitchy or it's cheesy is the fact that the cornerback is going to bite on the corner route every time, because realistically, there should be times where he decides that he wants to go with the streak and he just leaves the corner route wide open, and then it's up to the user to kind of figure out you know, which one he's going to choose. That's really the only thing about it, is you know that the AI is going to perform that way. But the fact that he's biting on it isn't necessarily wrong, because he has to respect one of those two routes. It just so happens that he's always going to favor the corner route. Now, you don't even necessarily have to streak the tight end to pull this off. So for example, I'm going to leave him on his route. You could still get this, but it's going to be a little bit tighter of like a throw. The safety is going to get over there and get a little bit closer to it. So if that was a little bit better of a safety, you know, he might be able to make a play on the ball, but that's why you want to have a fast receiver there. But I just like sending the tight end on a streak, because I want to know that I'm completely occupying that safety and I'm making him have to respect both routes. That way, you know, he can't overcommit to the other side. Now again, if you come out like in a cover 4 again, or you come out and you cover 4 blitz and you just cover the quick read over the middle, again, it's going to stop this. So you just have to know what your opponent wants to do, and you have to switch it up. You can't just, you know, there's too many people online that just want to sit in a cover 3 every play. They just set it and forget it. They don't want to make any adjustments. They just want to run a cover 3 every play, and that's really no different or better than someone that wants to bomb your cover 3 every play. If I know you're going to sit in a cover 3 and you think, well, this is just what I want to run and it's going to stop everything, well, I'm going to pull out a play that's going to beat that, and I'm going to force you to adjust. And if you don't adjust, well, that's on you. Now again, this setup right here will do a good job against cover 2 as well, because you're going to be able to split the safeties, because the A tight end's going to take the free safety and you're going to be able to get leverage on the strong safety. So again, pass it down the middle, you rack catch it, and you see you can go for a touchdown. So that's why I like this concept, because cover 2 and cover 3 are the most popular coverage shells, and you can bomb both with this. You force the user to either have to go manually defend it, which in that case you would check it down to your underneath route, or you force them to completely change up their defense and go to something that they might be less comfortable in. So it's just all about kind of paying attention to what your opponent does, what they like to do, and then you can pull out plays to really take advantage of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, you know the drill. Just like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.